Do you ever stop and wonder what the rest of your life might look like after 70? It's a question that creeps in quietly, not out of fear, but curiosity. Some people in their 70s are still up at sunrise, walking the dog, planning trips, and annoying their kids with Facebook messages. Others feel their energy fading, their steps slower, their days quieter, their spark dimmer. It's tempting to think it's all luck, or genes, or just the way things go. But science keeps showing us something different. How you age is not fixed. It's shaped by habits, attitude, and a few subtle signs your body gives you long before any diagnosis appears. The truth is, you don't need fancy tests to guess your longevity. You just need to pay attention to the way you move, eat, think, sleep, and connect. In this video, we'll explore 7 hidden clues that quietly reveal how long you may live after 70. They're backed by research, but more importantly, they're practical, things you can actually notice and improve. And if you stay till the end, I'll share one final insight that might surprise you. Something that turns aging from something you endure into something you master. Let's get into it. If there's one quick test that can predict your longevity, it's not your blood pressure. It's not your cholesterol. It's how fast you walk. Doctors call it gait speed. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful predictors of lifespan in older adults. Studies from the University of Pittsburgh found that seniors who walked faster than 1 meter per second, that's roughly a normal, confident pace, lived years longer than those who shuffled or slowed dramatically. Why? Because walking isn't just walking. It's the product of a dozen systems working together. Your heart, lungs, muscles, nerves, and coordination all moving in harmony. Imagine 2 old neighbors, Jean and Mabel, both 75. Jean still walks her dog every morning, rain or shine. Her stride is steady, her arms swing freely, her posture upright. Mabel, on the other hand, used to love long walks, but has gradually slowed down. She takes shorter steps, pauses more often, and grips railings whenever she can. Neither of them has been diagnosed with anything, but their bodies are telling different stories. Jean's speed reflects strong circulation, oxygen flow, and stable muscle tone. Mabel's slowing pace suggests her body's systems are beginning to tire. Here's the key. You can improve this one. Try setting small walking goals, to the end of the street, then a bit farther. Swing your arms, keep your posture tall. It's not about racing, it's about reminding your body that it's still built for motion. Every step, every stride, every trip to the shop or stroll through the park, that's not just exercise. That's a message to your body that you still plan to be here a while. Now, let's move from your legs to your hands, because what you can hold on to says a lot about how long you'll hold on to life. Grip strength isn't just about jars or handshakes. It's a reflection of overall muscle health, nerve communication, and even heart function. Research in The Lancet found that people with stronger hand grips lived significantly longer, regardless of age, weight, or income. Think about that. One simple measure of strength can outpredict many medical tests. Here's why. Your grip strength mirrors your entire muscle system. When muscles stay active, they help regulate blood sugar, support bone density, and reduce inflammation. When they weaken, everything else, balance, metabolism, independence, follows suit. Take George, 79. He lifts small dumbbells 3 times a week, mostly to keep his arms from looking like breadsticks, as he jokes. Then there's his old fishing buddy, Ron, who stopped exercising years ago because he didn't see the point. When George visits the doctor, he can open doors, carry groceries, and rise from a chair with ease. Ron, on the other hand, struggles with small tasks, zipping jackets, unscrewing bottles, and feels exhausted afterward. The difference isn't age, it's maintenance. Try this. Next time you're watching TV, squeeze a tennis ball or hand grip. Pick up light weights. Carry your shopping bags rather than using a trolley. Every little bit keeps your hands and your life in your control. Because longevity isn't about clinging to youth, It's about holding on, literally. Balance is one of those things you don't think about until it's gone. But losing it is like losing the silent wiring that keeps everything else connected. Here's a quick experiment. Stand on one leg for 10 seconds. If you can do that easily, you're in good shape. If you wobble or grab something, that's a clue worth paying attention to. Researchers at the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that people who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds were nearly twice as likely to die within the next decade. That's how strongly balance ties to longevity. The reason's simple. Good balance means your brain, muscles, and nerves are still communicating clearly. It also means your inner ear, your body's natural level, is functioning well. When that coordination starts to slip, so does everything else. Think about your day-to-day. Do you reach for walls more often? Find it harder to put on socks standing up? Feel less confident stepping off curbs? Those are the whispers before the shout. But the beauty of the human body is adaptability. Balance can be trained, even rebuilt. Try heel-to-toe walking across your kitchen. Practice standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Join a local Tai Chi class. You're not just training your legs, you're training your brain to keep talking to your body. And that conversation is what keeps you standing, strong and steady, for years longer. Sleep might be the most underrated medicine there is. When you're younger, you can get away with pulling late nights and still bounce back. After 70, though, poor sleep takes a bigger toll. It affects memory, mood, immunity, and even how your body repairs itself at the cellular level. Quality matters more than quantity. It's not just about lying in bed for 8 hours. It's about whether those hours actually heal you. Take Alan and Peter, both 72. Alan winds down each night with a book and a cup of chamomile tea. He keeps his room dark, cool, and quiet. He wakes up at the same time every morning feeling sharp and alert. Peter, though, falls asleep to the glow of the television, wakes up multiple times, and drifts through the day in a fog. Alan's brain spends the night in deep, restorative cycles. Peter's keeps hitting pause. And here's the ripple effect. Long-term sleep deprivation raises blood pressure, increases the risk of heart disease, and weakens the immune system. The body simply doesn't get time to fix itself. If your nights have become restless, you're not doomed, but you do need to reset. Try getting morning sunlight to anchor your circadian rhythm. Avoid caffeine after lunch. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Your brain loves routine. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's a strategy for staying alive. A sharp appetite is a quiet sign of vitality. When it fades, your body's fuel system is usually sending up a flare. Loss of appetite after 70 is linked to muscle loss, malnutrition, and even depression. Yet it often goes unnoticed because people assume, I'm just not as hungry as I used to be. But your appetite is your body's communication line. When it shuts down, something's being ignored. Meet Mary and Joe, both 78. Mary still eats colorful meals, grilled fish, fresh fruit, a small glass of red wine. She cooks for herself, even invites her neighbor over twice a week for dinner. Joe, meanwhile, finds cooking too much bother. He skips breakfast, grabs a sandwich for lunch, and often forgets dinner until late. Mary's body has what it needs to stay strong. Joe's, slowly, doesn't. His energy dips, his immune system weakens, and his weight, though steady, hides the loss of muscle underneath. If you've noticed your appetite waning, bring it back to life. Eat with others when you can. Conversation stimulates hunger. Focus on protein, hydration, and small, frequent meals if big portions feel overwhelming. And don't forget flavor, spice, color, texture. They remind the senses that you're still very much here, and life still tastes good. Now we're stepping into something less tangible, but maybe the most powerful of all: your attitude. Optimism doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It means believing that life is still worth showing up for. Researchers at Harvard found that people with positive outlooks lived up to 10 years longer than their pessimistic peers. 10 years, just from mindset. Why? Because optimism lowers stress hormones like cortisol, improves heart health, and motivates people to take care of themselves. Take two men in their 80s, Frank and Bernard. Frank wakes up, opens the curtains, and tells his wife, "Well, let's see what today brings." Bernard sighs and mutters, "Another day, another ache." The day hasn't even started, but one of them is already losing it. Frank still plans small adventures, a walk by the river, a visit from his grandson, learning to use that confusing new phone. Bernard sticks to routine, avoids change, and lives in the rearview mirror. Aging with optimism isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about deciding that what's left still matters. It's saying, "I'm not done yet." And that decision, made daily, reshapes how your brain and body function. The body follows the spirit. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not poetry. That's data from Harvard's 80-year longevity study. Humans are wired for connection. When that disappears, the brain becomes stressed, inflammation rises, and immunity drops. After 70, friendships, family ties, and community are not just nice extras. They're lifelines. Think of Margaret, who plays bridge twice a week and laughs with the same friends she's had since school. She forgets names sometimes, but never her sense of belonging. Now think of David, who stopped socializing when his wife passed away. He spends days in silence, eating alone, TV murmuring in the background. Their physical health started out similar. 5 years later, Margaret is still active and independent. David, though, has become frail and withdrawn. Connection keeps the human spark lit. You don't need a crowd, just a few good voices who remind you you're still part of the world. Call your sister, volunteer once a week, sit in a cafe, and strike up a conversation. Longevity thrives on laughter, shared stories, and the warmth of being known. Here's the one most people miss: why you wake up in the morning. The Japanese call it ikigai, your reason for being. It might be tending a garden, mentoring a young person, caring for a pet, or simply watching the sunrise every day with gratitude. People who have purpose don't just live longer, they live better. They recover faster from illness, stay mentally sharp, and feel more fulfilled. Purpose gives direction to your energy, meaning to your habits, and structure to your days. Without it, even healthy bodies can start to fade. So ask yourself, what gives my days shape? What small thing would I miss if it were gone? Whatever your answer, make space for it. Protect it. That's your anchor in the years ahead. So how long will you live after 70? The truth is, no one knows for sure, but your body is already giving you hints. The speed of your steps, the strength of your grip, the steadiness of your balance. How deeply you sleep, how joyfully you eat, how brightly you see the future, and how connected you stay to others. Each of these is a brushstroke in the picture of your longevity. And here's the best part. Every single one can be improved, no matter your age. Walk a little faster, strengthen that handshake, practice standing tall, sleep better, eat well, laugh often, and never stop making plans. Longevity isn't about beating time. It's about partnering with it, knowing that every day you move, connect, and care for yourself, you're quietly extending the road ahead. If this video gave you something to think about, drop a comment below. Tell me which sign resonated most with you. And if you want more insights like this, stories, science, and wisdom about aging well, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Because getting older isn't a countdown, it's a privilege. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live fully.